Like that too. DeAndre Carter,
open, definitely.
No, I just want to just reiterate DeAndre Carter right here, doing great things. We're going to keep talking about life's challenges, being able to stay prepared. Have you ever had one of those things where people come to you and say, "You're a motivational speaker. Well, motivate me." You got hit with that one yet?
Yes, and excuse me. What's so funny about that is that it used to happen so often that it's because they say, "Oh, you're not a sing something." Right?
Yeah.
But that's easy because the song is already written. You just grab Whitney Houston, "I Will Always Love You," and run with it or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
You know how to rap, or you just bring, you know how to motivate, and so I did create something to acquiesce those or to satisfy those people. What I realized is that the way that I motivate is this: if you want to get to a certain destination. Let's say, we're here at the building, right? And somebody calls you right now and says, "Lindsay, I want to come by and drop something off to you.
Sure.
I know where you're at. Can you give me directions so I can get there?"
Right.
What's the first question you're going to ask them? They're asking for directions to get to the building.
Where are you at?
There it is. So when it comes to inspiring people, if I want to get you to point B, I got to first know where your point A is.
I like that.
Or else I can't really I can give you directions, but they might not apply to you.
Right.
So growing up in those disadvantaged backgrounds, I saw that a lot. People would give the steps to success, and they'll say step 1, and I'll be like, that's like step 8 on my list.
Yeah, that's all relative.
Exactly.
And I think that's a good way to look at it. Even with some of my clients, when people want to sit to me, I say, well, let's just have a meeting. Let's just talk and just see what's going on first. And I think people get so caught up in expecting you to sell them on your product.
And they get used to that, yeah.
And I would wonder if you're probably at this point now where you get to the point like, man, I don't really have to sell you. This is what I'm going to do. And if you want to come on board, I'm all about clients who are participating because they're willing to participate.
Absolutely.
Not that I got to force you to. And I think no matter what business you're in, what service, when you get to a point where you feel confident enough with your brand and your product that you don't have to push and sell. But like you're probably getting those referrals now. You're getting people saying, I heard about that.
Absolutely.
And that helps. But I just want to put that out there. Want to keep with the idea of demanding greatness. Right now, they're going to be recognizing the 2000 Waverly State Championship team. Just last week, Michigan State was being recognized for the 2000 championship. Yep, they were in the building, and they were actually the last Big Ten team to win a national championship.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I know, right?
Michigan got close.
Yeah, Michigan got close, but ain't no cigars for being close. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about the theme of greatness and championship, if you were talking to athletes, if you were talking to business leaders right now, what's something you can say to kind of help them get the championship mindset, if you will?
Well, the big thing I would say is that you are a champion before you become recognized as a champion. That's the biggest thing. That Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they just won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They had championship DNA on the inside of them before they won the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people, they wait for the outside recognition to validate who they are, and that's not how it works. Even if you look at the late, great Kobe Bryant, he was already a champion from the day he stepped in the league. That's why he shot those air balls. Now, what most people would do, and this I can tell when you're a champion, everybody falls down, but the champions get up faster. They don't just get up. He was already, everybody they get up instantly. Faster. If you watch that video, Kobe shooting those air balls, there's no demoralization in his face. There's it's almost no facial expression. His mind is already calculating, why did I miss these shots? And in one of his interviews, he said, it's because I was a rookie and my legs weren't used to the long grind of the season. Mm-hmm. So in the off season, what I need to do, he's like, if you notice, every shot I missed was a jumper and I didn't have any lift. He's like, when I went to the hole, I still scored. Right. So he found the part of his game that was being impacted, found the solution, and started applying a strategy to execute. That's because you're already a champion, already knows victory is theirs. All we got to decide is the path I take to get there.
And staying with that, like you said, because you're already a champion, he didn't look at it as, there's a problem. He's like, well, what can I do to adjust it? Because I know I'm going to be great.
Because I already know. He was convinced.
Well, it's funny you say. I'll tell you a quick story that I heard third hand about Kobe Bryant early on, and it was someone making a reference like, hey, man, you really come off arrogant. He said, man, I'm not arrogant. I'm just convinced. And I think there's a difference.
There is.
And I think what comes with that is the work ethic you put in,
Absolutely.
How you prepare and all those type of things. What do you think?
Well, I think that's it. I think true confidence comes from the work. And using another Kobe reference, he talked about why he was never nervous in big moments because he said, in my mind, I've already done this thousands of times. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't need to hype myself up. I've literally practiced this moment. And so I think visualization is very important for high achievers and champions. You have to see yourself as a champion before others do, because others are going to doubt you. That's their job. Right. But our job is to have what I like to call bulletproof belief.
Bulletproof belief.
Bulletproof
I like
belief.
that.
You get hit, but you don't get hurt.
You get hit, but you don't get hurt.
So yes, you'll feel the doubts, and people will shoot them, but they don't take away your dreams. They just prove to you that these are people who need to play that role. There are two groups of people in life: those that believe in you and those that don't. Make sure you disappoint the right group.
My man got me at a loss for words right now. I'm still getting over the bulletproof belief, the different groups of people in this world. It seems like you have some basic principles that you bring people back to that should really make people kind of let the light come on for them.
Absolutely.
You know, and that helps. How important it is to have some simplicity in your message.
Oh, it's everything. What I've learned is early on in my speaking career, I would think I did a great job because people would run up to me and say, "You're a great speaker. You're awesome." And you're young. They're like, you're seeking validation. Especially myself. My dad wasn't in the home. He was incarcerated from age 6 to 24 in my lifespan. So 18 years, he wasn't there.
You didn't know your dad then?
Well, fortunately, my mom took us. We visited often. I've been patted down more times than I can count. Wow. They paint these little lines on your hand. You can put them under like your Chuck E. Cheese. Matter of fact, when I go to Chuck E. Cheese, I have flashbacks. I used to do this for a different reason.
Coach.
And so, but my mother and I, we were reconciling, but we had a challenging relationship when I was younger because for a moment of time I was with my grandmother. And so so when I mentioned the adversity, there's a lot of disjointedness.
Let me just stop for a second. When you start talking about this family pattern, you're really also being a salve to other people, because now they're saying, man, I had that kind of situation. We see you right here sitting in the picture of success, but you're letting people know that I have some unique things to go through, and you don't seem to have any lack of pride about your life. And I didn't want to get off track, but I just wanted to highlight that.
It took some time to get there, because when I first started speaking, I would only share the principle, but not the person. And people wanted me to start releasing my story, and when I would share it, I didn't want to get on that part because I was trying to escape that. I left Detroit so that I could create a new future and forget the past, not understanding that the past will always be a part of you. Mm-hmm. So you can't change the past, but you can redefine what it means. So Malcolm X was once Malcolm Little, but because of who he became, you look at the first part differently, right? That Maya Angelou had some checker issues in her past, but because of who she became, you look at the past differently. So I always say that what you do next redefines what you did last.
This is the reason why DeAndre Carter and I will be speaking on a regular basis. I'm inspiring myself talking. We won't wrap up right now, but I will just kind of reiterate DeAndre Carter doing some great things. Share with people your website, how they can contact you, so we can put that up on the screen. So
absolutely. You can contact me on the website at www.deandrecarter.com. That's DEANDRE Carter, CARTER.com. Also, I'm releasing a lot of my content on social media. So if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, check me out. LinkedIn, I'm under my name, DeAndre Carter, same as Facebook. On Instagram is DeAndre Carter _. I'm constantly releasing content every day to inspire people.
I'll be looking at this content. I'm like, when did this come out? Right. And I think that's what people got to understand. And one thing that's really helped me with my work, I used to be very self-conscious in the sense about what I was posting, meaning, okay, I only post one thing today. Right. I want that to breathe. But it gets to the point that when you get that momentum and you're kind of like living it, you like, I'm just going to put it out there. Right. And my thing is that the content is there when you need it. So that makes me feel good about
it's like a reference.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm not going to worry about what they thought about the last time. I'm just going to keep grinding and putting it out there. And I think when you get to that point, one, when you got a lot of content, that's a good thing. But when you also get to the point where you know that what you're getting out there is going to benefit somebody, no matter who it is, whether it's now or later, and I think that's important. But I see you the same way.
Critical. Without a doubt. So I had to create a plan because, I came before the social media thing came, and so in my mind, social media was optional. But we've shifted our culture in terms of where our attention is. Where social media is mandatory.
It's primary. It's almost a primary.
And so the momentum I'm experiencing now, I could have experienced 3 years ago if I was simply posting pictures of what I was doing. But in my mind, it was like, oh, you're trying to show off. You're trying to clout chase. And what I realized is, no, you're trying to help people. Right. And so what I do now is I take every opportunity to remind myself that when I show people the journey, I'm showing them, like you said, who I am as a real person and who's going through real challenges, but still has real belief after all of the adversity to continue to push forward. And so it reminds me, you were just asking about the speeches. And so I'm saying in the beginning of my career, I would be excited because people would come to me and say, you're a great speaker.
Right.
I know I matured as a speaker and I was going to the next level when I didn't hear that, and I was excited because people, instead of coming to me after a presentation saying you're a great speaker, they would come and say, I'm ready to change my life.
Wow.
So I know I'm doing my job when you come to me talking about how you're going to change, not about I am a great speaker.
And you didn't need that. Those
and I didn't need that anymore.
Yeah, right.
Because like Kobe, now I'm convinced.
Yeah,
I'm convinced I can do that. But now, can I convince you that you can do it?
Well, I've been convinced for some time with DeAndre Carter and his greatness and what he's working on. We're going to continue to have these conversations.
Absolutely.
I ask that you support him and what he's doing. You have someone who's out here committed to provide a message that can be helpful for you going forward. I want to say I appreciate you making your way up here, and we're going to look to put some more things together. Again, we're over at Waverly High School. We're getting ready to recognize some more champions with the Waverly 2000 championship team. Going to be recognized at halftime, as well as Everett High School championship program as well. So with that, DeAndre, any final words you have to sign off before we have our next sit down?
The final words I'll just say is something that I've just been chewing on, is that we all already have everything we need. We're already equipped to become successful. The question is, are you using those tools correctly? So faith and fear are the same thing. Faith is belief in something that hasn't happened yet that's positive. Fear is belief in something that hasn't happened yet that's negative. It's the same thing, but how we're using it. And so we have to keep that in mind, that the same mouth you use to talk about yourself in a negative way and create a negative energy within yourself and pass that on, it's the same one you can use to say that. And you have to say it with a level of confidence. That's why people, I think, they say, oh, I don't want to be fake and say I'm a champion and I just lost. No, but you can say that I was born to be a champion.
I was born to be a champion.
That I'm committed to finding a way. And as you repeat that, Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest champions, he
Absolutely.
said, it's through the repetition of affirmation that I created my belief. So you repetitively say it over and over. That's how I'm convinced my name is DeAndre. They kept saying DeAndre.
Yeah.
And I believed it. And now if you came and tried to change it otherwise, I don't know. I've heard it too much. I believed it too much. So we have to remind ourselves repetitively who we are. And once we do that, it's the repetition of affirmation that creates belief. But once you create the belief, it's in there.
Are y'all getting this? Are y'all hearing this, man, and what he's talking about? Saying, my name is Lindsay because I've been working on it over and over again. That's my name. That's my name. I get it. This won't be the last time. Like and share and promote what's going on with SPS and also with DeAndre Carter and the work he's doing. We appreciate you guys for supporting us, and we're going to continue to do what we can to support you. So with that, I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you.
Until
Thank
next
you.
time. Wonderful job.
Till the next time. It's going to be amazing, just like this one.
All right. We see you guys. Take care.
All right, now.
That's right, folks. Lindsay Huddleston with SBS back in the building on Southwest Side Detroit. How do you hit a free throw? How do you finish strong? That's important. But the other part of the spectrum is
Wake the streets up. Come on.
It's always packed, always loud, always crazy. So it's a tough place to play in. You gotta go in there with a mindset.
So I'll be in there tomorrow. That's really my motivation. Is I want to be like Gabe Brown. Gabe Brown shoots like